Hey everybody, Scott Stremecki here with HandyCanFixIt and Mountain City Realty. Hey, I've had a lot of people ask about how to put can lights in a kitchen or in a bathroom, and especially to get rid of those ugly fluorescent boxes that hang down, kind of like that one. We already took the lenses and bulbs out of it, but what we're going to do today is do a time lapse on how to take that off nicely and put the can lights in. And we're using really cool can lights. They're these halos. That's Luke. Say hi, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Luke. These right here, made by Halo, they don't even require a metal can to go in the ceiling anymore. They go in with clips after you cut the circle. And they have a junction box attached to them that lays up there. And the super cool thing is they've got 4 settings for the warmness of the light, because people complain about how cold LEDs are. And they caught on to that, and now they're doing it warm. So we're gonna set this up and let you guys watch how we do it on a little time lapse. And then I'll come back and explain maybe some of the tools that we used and stuff we did. So enjoy. I'll show you what we just did. So we took out the box, scraped all the caulking off the ceiling. Before we took the box out, we cut that caulking so it wouldn't pull the drywall apart. And then you just scrape it off. And then we chose our layout. So in your kitchen, you want to kind of lay out can lights to light up your task areas. So we made sure and put one in the corner here over where they do coffee and have utensils. There's one over the stove just about center. And then there's one over the walkway. I like to light walkways when you walk into a room. Makes the room feel bigger, kind of expands the kitchen that way. And then you got to make sure that you put your X's for the center of your lights where there is no ceiling joists. So you can use a stud finder. I use my finger and just tap. There's one right there. There's none right there. Solid, hollow. But stud finder works also. And then you cut out your template. And we're going to draw these on the ceiling where we want our can lights, and then we're going to cut them out. All right. So we put our marks in the ceiling, chose our layout, cut out that template, and then drew our circles on the ceiling. And in the time lapse, you saw Luke poking the ceiling just with a little, well, poker from Harbor Freight. You do that so that you don't get into it cutting holes and running into a joist or ductwork or anything that might be up there in your way where you cannot see. So always poke 4 holes. We usually do kind of a cross pattern on them. So we'd poke here, 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 and here, unless we know for sure that there's nothing up there. And then you won't waste any time doing extra patching later. All right. So we have our holes in our ceiling, and we have our wires ran that connect the lights to each other. Then we have right here in the center, this is the wire that ran the old fluorescent light box. We're going to put it into that hole and connect it to the wires there in the junction box that come with the can, and that'll feed these 3 lights. Then our next challenge is going to be getting from these 3 on this side over to those 3. And I had a friend, Chris Shamler, ask the other night, how do you do that? And specifically, how do you do that without dying? Because sometimes in the bays, these ones are nice and empty, no ductwork, no power lines, nothing in the way. I'm going to try to, well, see that? There, now you're up in the ceiling. So we are going to put our drill up here, and we are going to put a bit on it and drill right through that joist. Right, there's a light. We're going to drill through that right there and pull that other wire over. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side in order to run a wire across. So let's do that. I'm going to do a little reshoot of what we just did because the video came out poorly because I'm a terrible cameraman. I'm a good carpenter, terrible cameraman.
Decent tile guy.
So we put the drill all the way up in the bay through the holes we cut for the cans. And we already see the hole there. We already drilled for the other video, but Luke is just showing you the drill can go there and then go ahead and push it through, Luke, so I can see we got all the way through. Now we're going to do a little fishing work and get that wire into that hole, and then we will try to show you how to drill through multiple joists with extensions and fun stuff like that. I want to show you these halo can lights with the junction box. You can leave these laying up on the drywall, or you can attempt to put screws into the joist and stuff. The main thing is that the wires are inside of a metal box to avoid any kind of sparking. That's what can control an electrical fire if there's a spark in the wire. These are very nice. These are what we call stab-ins. You don't have to twist them like wire nuts. We'll strip the wires down and actually just insert ground. So your bare copper to your bare copper, your black wire to black wire, and your white wire to white wire. Don't ever cross those. I'm going to assume if you're watching this, you have some basic understanding of electrical. So not complicated, just don't cross the colors when you're installing can lights or any other kind of light. And Luke is over here stripping a wire down. I'm going to show you that. How we do that. So you will need wire strippers for this job. Don't try to do it with a knife or your teeth like I've seen people do in the past. It's really bad. So you see Luke left about 3/4 of an inch or so of bare wire out there. And then he's going to bring that light over and stab those in and kind of just show you how that works.
So didn't want that anyway.
So this, yeah, actually detaches, just a little screw fitting. So copper,
And
you'll get a nice little, what does it feel like?
you hit the back of the stab in, and you get a little like a pop.
Okay.
You can see it in there too.
Yeah.
As
I don't know if
pop's
you
not
guys
the
can
right
see
term,
that,
but
yeah, there you go. You'll see the wire in there. Make sure you got a good connection. So most of the time when there's a problem with can lights, like one not working in a room, it's a wire connection. So you want to make sure that those are all the way.
But you know what I forgot to do?
It's okay. These have a built-in grommet. Nope, the black one's on top.
Oh, the black ones.
This is kind of a very important part of doing this. You're going to stuff the wires into that box so you can close the lid. And see how he's leaving himself enough white to make sure the white part of the Romex is in the box? That's what you want. You don't ever want to see just the black, the white, and the copper wire hanging out of one of these metal boxes. It's defeating the purpose. So he's going to put a screwdriver in there and pull it back towards the camera. And that'll pop out of the way.
There we go.
And then that has little teeth in it that'll grab the wire when he pushes it in there more.
There we go, like that.
There you go. And then just like that. So that's what you want to see. The white part of the Romex goes all the way into the box, protects from sparks or any kind of arcing that can happen, and it's clipped well. Never, let me see that one more time. Never pop out one of these sides and just run the wire in there without a grommet. We'll go over that in another time when we use grommets, but this has built-in grommets. A grommet's simply a piece of plastic that keeps the metal from cutting into that wire and shorting things out in the ceiling. And then he's going to put this can light in with See those orange tabs? We call them mouse traps. Because if they spring and get your finger, you're not going to say nice things. So he pushes the orange ones up, make sure all the wires are out of the way, and it holds it right over that hole. And that's a pretty simple can light installation. We're going to do the other 5 and put that on time lapse, and then we'll show you the finished product. About those grommets, in case you have 3 or 4 wires coming out of these boxes. The built-in ones only give you room for 2. So we're going to pop out that circle on the side. Just put a screwdriver in there and kind of work it back and forth
until
so it comes all the way out. And this is the type of grommet that we're going to put in there and use. So put those screw heads on the outside.
Very important.
And there's a nut that goes on the inside, and you tighten it down.
In this tiny little box.
Yeah.
Probably would have been more room on the other side. But...
use a screwdriver to push on the little tabs on that nut to tighten it. And there you go. And the wiring, the Romex is going to go through there. And when he gets that put in there, he'll tighten down those 2 screws. That'll clamp the wire, keep it in place for moving, and control the sparks again. Just to show these can lights by Halo, they're different light. So Luke, go ahead and adjust us.
Warm?
Yeah, let's go all the way warmest setting. Yeah, you can actually see that changing. And then
white's in almond. Can it do?
That's white.
Yeah, it doesn't look white in the
and then click us down one at a time. So it just gets a little brighter as you approach 5,000. And 5,000 is crazy bright. So they've come a long way making these. And yeah, now you can choose your warmth of light. So our clients chose the middle, which is probably perfect. Not too yellow, not too white. Got all of our cans in, got the light adjusted, switch in, and we even put a dimmer, which makes that really nice. Be a little bit more dramatic at nighttime, but all 6 cans are in. Just want to take a minute and show you guys what tools you're probably going to need if you choose to do this. Of course, a razor blade knife. I have a couple different size bits for getting through those joists and running wires. Your wire strippers, a poker of some kind, could be a small screwdriver too, to poke those holes around the circles to make sure you're not going to hit anything. This is a handsaw for drywall. I cheat. I'm a Milwaukee guy, and I use my little Milwaukee Sawzall with a mini blade on it. Putty knife, screwdriver, maybe another extension to reach all the way across those joists. Tape measure, of course, flashlight, your Halo cans, and some wire.
and a pencil.
And a pencil. So that's what you're going to need basically. Oh, and really important, this yellow stick. It's a fiberglass stick called an electrical fishing stick or electrical wire running stick for poking through. And you tape your wire to the end of it and you can pull that through the joist if you're careful. So that's kind of what you're going to need. And good luck with your project, and thanks for watching.